Bible verses for exams success. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. James chapter 1, verse 5. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 to 16. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. James chapter 3, verse 17. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver? Proverbs chapter 16, verse 16. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 10. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Colossians chapter 4, verses 5 to 6. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 10. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 8. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 3. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. James chapter 3, verse 13. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Psalm 90, verse 12. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 2. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 35. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 33. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 8. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 28. This also cometh forth from the Lord of hosts, which is wonderful in counsel, and excellent in working. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 29. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 28. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me now what we desired of thee, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. Daniel chapter 2, verse 23. That the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 17. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 18. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, I have led thee in right paths. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 11. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul. When thou hast found it, then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 14. O the depth of the riches both of the wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out. Romans chapter 11, verse 33. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 12. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Romans chapter 14, verse 5. A hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 9. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. Psalm 111, verse 10. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 15. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 24. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Psalm 19, verse 7. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 5. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 6. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 11. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 16. That their hearts might be comforted, being knit together in love, and unto all riches of the full assurance of understanding, to the acknowledgement of the mystery of God, and of the Father, and of Christ. Colossians chapter 2, verse 2. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1.